What's going on, Legionnaires, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, and make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. Now for this video, we're going to be jumping into the Infinite Frontier, Nightwing, issue number 80. And if you haven't been keeping up with this line, go ahead and check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It's going to get you completely caught up on everything Nightwing related. And for those of you that are wondering, we didn't cover some indie comics this weekend. I took a little bit of a break, but we'll double it up next week. We'll cover a little bit extra. I got some awesome stuff waiting in the pipeline. I think you guys are going to really enjoy. Now, this is written by Tom Taylor, and pencils and ink are by Bruno Redondo. And with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright guys, as we jump into this issue, we pick up in Blüdhaven. We pick up at Dick Grayson's apartment. Now right now, Dick Grayson, he's completely knocked out. He's still sleeping hard right now. And this little dog that he adopted, it's going crazy. It's just barking its freaking head off. And so this wakes Dick up, and this is when he hears some knocks at the door. And on the other side, the voice lets him know that it's the police department, and they're here to have a word with him. And so getting up and going to the door, he answers it, and right off the bat, these police officers, these detectives, they're a little bit skeptical because it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. But they ask him about him reporting his wallet stolen. Now before he reported it stolen, he had booked a hotel room. A hotel room for a man who was homeless living with his son. But the man, he never checked in. He never checked in and he was found murdered. Now Dick Grayson, he immediately asks about the kid. But the police, they have no information that there was ever a kid in this situation. Now this is where we cut over to Barbara. And Grayson goes ahead and gives her a call. He gives her a call because right now she is the only alibi he has, because essentially he's being accused of murder. And so he needs Barbara to come back and tell the detectives that she had been there all night long. Now this is when the detectives and Dick Grayson, they sit down and have a conversation. But really it's more of an interrogation. They're trying to use bully tactics to get him to try to confess to something that he hasn't even done. Because right now they're accusing him of not only murdering this man, but a litany of other individuals as well. Not only murdering them, but ripping their hearts out. And it has all been homeless people. And this is when they have a knock at the door. And it's Barbara arriving to let the detectives know that she had been there. She has GPS on her phone to prove that she had been there all night. And the police officers, they want to know the nature of the relationship between Dick and Barbara. And this is something that Dick's been wondering himself. He just didn't want to bring it up, and he's kind of bent a little bit that they had to bring it up in this manner. Now Barbara, she lets him know, that's not relevant information. You don't need to know that for your murder investigation. And they try to get cocky. They try to muscle her a little bit, and this is where she puts him in check and lets them know, like, I have a law degree. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I really know what is within the lines of jurisdiction. And she also lets them know that if they're sitting here accusing Dick of murder after he has an alibi and with no direct evidence to prove anything is connected to him, it would be incompetent to say the least. And this is where they see the detectives out. And as soon as the detectives leave, they're working on the case. Dick Grayson wants to find that kid, and he knows that he has to start at the crime scene. And while he's doing that, Barbara, she's going to check hospitals, shelters, all the other locations that a child might go or might be. Now Barbara, she had been recording the entire time the police officers were there, so they have all the crime scene photos from all of the murders, so they can investigate this individual the kids are calling the man with no heart. But if Dick Grayson is going to do this, if he's going to find this kid and figure out who this murderer is, he's going to need some help. He's going to need some help from arguably the best Robin out there, the one and only Tim Drake. And this is where we see Nightwing and Robin meet up on a rooftop. Now, upon them greeting one another, Tim Drake, he pulls out a chain wallet that was a gift from Batman. Kind of just a slight at him because he had some kids steal his wallet. And so this is just a joke that he's not going to live down. No one's going to let him live this down. Even Batman's running jokes on him at this point. Now, Nightwing and Robin, they haven't had an opportunity to really catch up lately. But on their way to Blüdhaven, they're having a conversation about how Alfred had given Dick Grayson all that money. And Tim tells him that it's a lot. Not necessarily a lot of money, but it's a lot of responsibility. But Dick Grayson, he really wants to do something good with it. He's even got some ideas. He's got some meetings in Gotham tomorrow, and he really wants to make some change. He wants to do some true change. But then they change the subject to the task at hand, talking about the missing kid, talking about the murdered father. Now, judging from the crime scene, Dick Grayson was able to track it back to a pizza shop. Now, the security footage, it showed the kid. It showed him with some other kids that Dick Grayson recognized as the homeless kids that were living in this little tent city of homeless children. And this is the reason that he needed Robin to come along with him. And it's not necessarily Robin that he needs, but it's Tim Drake, because he needs Robin to go undercover. He needs to go in as Tim Drake and kind of blend in with the rest of the kids. But he's not going to be alone. And this is where we pick up in Nightwing's apartment. And Nightwing lets him know that he's going to be bringing this dog along with him. This puppy that he has essentially adopted up to this point. You know, he keeps saying that he's going to take it to the pound, but everybody knows that that's not going to happen. This is his new dog. But Nightwing, he wants him to take this dog on the mission with him because everybody loves dogs and makes you more approachable, which at the end of the day is true. You know, anybody who has a cute little puppy, people are going to want to talk to that individual. They'll be able to open up to them a little bit more. And so Tim Drake starts making his way through this tent city. Going through here, he's keeping an eye out for Elliot. Not only that, but trying to find out any information they can find out about the man without a heart. And as he's walking through the tent city, he spots him. He spots Elliot. And Dick lets him know that they need to know exactly what he saw last night and any information they can get from him. Now, Tim Drake, he goes radio silent. He doesn't want it to slip up and make it look like he's sitting there talking to himself. He's just going to be real with these kids. And that's what picks us up at an hour later. And it seems that Tim Drake, he did really well. He did really well in bonding with all of them. They seem really friendly, and he even tells them that he might see them for Taco Tuesday. And this is where he gets back in communications with Nightwing and lets him know that Elliot, he doesn't really want to leave. He feels really safe here. But he says that his father was killed by the man without a heart. And that's a reoccurring story from a lot of these children here. Then Nightwing interrupts him, letting him know that he should probably give the dog to Elliot and go suit up, because they're about to have trouble. And this is when we see Brutal and Electrocutioner, henchmen of Blockbuster. Now they're walking up to the kids, and they're here to intimidate, because these kids, they've been stealing food. They've really been stealing anything they can get their hands on to stay alive. But Blockbuster, this is his territory. And so he sent his henchmen to intimidate little kids. Because in his eyes, if he's soft on children and not taxing them, other people might see this as weakness and try to make a move. And so really, they're here to steal from homeless children. Like, that's the blunt of it at the end of the day. And this is when Nightwing lets it be known that he's here and asks him straight up, like, is this really where you want to be in life? Like, is this really what you want? Like, this has to be a career low, even for a henchman and for a bad guy. Like, you're literally stealing from homeless children. And this is where we see the fight break out. Nightwing jumping into action, and this is when we see, out of left field, Robin also join into the fight. And we see these four epically battling, and Tim Drake and Dick Grayson working flawlessly together as a dynamic duo. And in a matter of minutes, they kick these guys' butt. It's no competition whatsoever. They're throwing them around left and right. And this fight was over before it even began. And Nightwing tells him, you know, you better tell Blockbuster that these kids, they're all under the protection of Nightwing. But as this fight is finishing up, Robin and Nightwing, they look around to find that the entire tent city has caught fire. Everything is burning, and they're jumping into action. They're jumping into action to save whoever they possibly can from this fire. And Oracle lets them know that the fire department, they are on their way. Now Robin, he turns to the henchman. He's like, I can't believe you guys started this fire. Like, you guys did this. And they're just like, hold on, man. Like, we wouldn't do this. Like, you can't get money from dead people. There's no reason that we would do this. And this is where Robin starts to piece it together that something's not right here. Something's off. Because if it's not Blockbuster's people, if it wasn't them who started the fire, then who was it? And this is where Nightwing lets him know that he knows it wasn't Blockbuster's people, because he knows exactly who did this, because who did it is standing right in front of him in the flames. And that individual is none other than Heartless himself. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Personally, I think this is a lot of fun. I have thoroughly been enjoying the Nightwing run so far. And the inclusion of Tim Drake is even that much better. You know, I know a lot of people feel like he just hasn't been getting the necessary love from DC Comics. We got to see him in the Eternal Robin, which I really thought was cool, but outside of that, he hasn't been playing a huge role in comics. So it's nice to see him brought back into the loop a little bit. And I really hope that DC, moving forward, really utilizes him a lot more. And I kind of think that they're going to head in that direction, just because of the dialogue that they use when describing Tim Drake as Robin really solidifies that he is the Robin. Yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you haven't yet already, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. We're dropping videos all throughout the week. And until the next breakdown.